QMUL was great when I first arrived in the UK. Of course, because I had the Fulbright scholarship, that helped a lot with figuring out the technical aspects, like where to get the visa and where to apply and everything like that. So that was all pretty much laid out. But from the time that I set foot in the country, I believe Megan Harper in the International Students Office was reaching out like, oh, if you need anything, let me know, was giving me schedules for all of the orientation programs. I was getting constant emails about orientation. I never really felt lost on campus. I knew where to go, on what days to go there. I got messages from the School of History about orientation. And so I definitely think Queen Mary made that transition a lot smoother. They made sure that I had everything that I needed, and I definitely knew where to go if there ever was a time that I needed help, even down to things like housing. I ended up going to the housing office a couple times just to get their advice. As someone who, one, has never rented any property anywhere in the world, and definitely not in a foreign country, that was a tremendous resource for me because I had no clue about like rent and what questions I should ask, and they had even a whole checklist of things to look for while I was going through different properties. So that was very reassuring, knowing that there were people who were willing to help, and it was always a positive experience whenever I did need to visit those offices. So it was great. I would say the biggest support that I received through my studies is kind of one-on-one interaction with my professors. I think, as I spoke about before, the transition from undergraduate study to postgraduate study can be kind of daunting just because all of a sudden the bar is set so high and you're not exactly sure like how you're going to achieve that and reach that standard and meet those expectations. And so when I was doing my papers, I would have multiple meetings with my professors about my outlines, about potential dissertation topics, about what books I should be reading, and just general questions that you have as a postgraduate just because the rigor of work is so much different. And that's been tremendously helpful just because I at one point felt like I was completely lost, and then being able to walk into their office hours and them always being so willing to help, and me never feeling intimidated or never feeling like I couldn't ask a question or never feeling like there was a question that was too dumb for me to ask, was really helpful. Because otherwise, I think if I hadn't felt comfortable, I definitely would have submitted work that I was not confident in. I definitely would have went with a lot of questions that went unanswered, and my academic work would have suffered and my academic growth would have suffered as well. So it's definitely helped my own personal and academic development.